Hi, welcome to our channel Learn to Score. In this video, we discuss about trigonometry chapter for class 10. The topics covered are introduction to trigonometry, trigonometric ratios of some specific angles, trigonometric ratios of complementary angles, and trigonometric identities. I hope you will like the video. Please subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thank you. In several real world situations, we come across triangles and their applications, right? In this picture, you see ladder, floor, and wall make a triangle, right? When I observe this picture, I can ask following questions. If I fix the angle, what should be the length of ladder to reach a certain height? The other question I can think of is how the angle changes with height if the ladder size is fixed. The other thing here you see is slide, base and ladder make a triangle, right? I can imagine a question like this. What is the relation between length of slide and height of the ladder for a given angle where kid slides? For example, when the angle is almost equal to 0 or close to 0, like 10 degrees or something like that, then kid may not even slide. If it is about 90 degrees, about 80 degrees, then kid may fall, right? So now let's say that kid is going to slide between 30 degrees and maybe 50 degrees. Then you want to get a relation between length of slide and height of the ladder for various angles between 30 degrees and 50 degrees. These kind of questions you can ask, right? So trigonometry is going to help you answer such questions. Let's take a look at another interesting example. You want to measure height of a flagpole that is denoted using capital H here. One way to do is you can use measuring tape and climb the pole and get the measurement, right? Let's see another interesting way of doing it. We know that it casts shadow on a sunny day, right? If I take measure of length of the shadow that is denoted using capital L here, then you say that length of shadow capital L and height of flagpole capital H are two sides of a right triangle. That looks like this, right? Now I say that using angle-angle criterion of similarity of triangles you learnt in triangles chapter can be used to get height of the flagpole. How is the question, right? Let's consider a bar of known height that is denoted using small h units. We know that at the same time it also casts shadow, right? Let's take measure of that. That is small l units. Now let's construct a right triangle of these two sides, that is small l and small h. It looks like this, right? When you observe this, two of the corresponding angles of these two triangles are equal. One is 90 degrees and other is angle of elevation of sun, right? When two of the corresponding angles of two triangles are equal, then we say that two triangles are similar. This is what is called angle-angle similarity criteria, right? And we also know that ratio of corresponding sides of similar triangles is equal. It means capital H by small h equal to capital L by small l, right? That can be rearranged and written as capital H equal to capital L by small l times h, small h. Now from this equation you see that all the quantities on the right hand side are known. So you can get capital H, that is the height of the flagpole, without climbing the pole, right? Let's see another way of doing it. Let's observe angle of elevation of sun and length of shadow of flagpole as function of time. As the sun position changes, angle of elevation and length of shadow are getting changed, right? That's what you observe in the figure. Now I say that it is indicating that acute angles and lengths of sides of right triangles are related. For this particular case, as the angle of elevation changes, shadow length is changing, right? That's what I'm saying here. It means we can get height of the flagpole if the relation between the angle and shadow length is known, right? Trigonometry defines the relations between lengths of sides and acute angles of right triangles. Please take a note of this. It means we can solve this particular problem with help of trigonometry, right? Let's take a look at another example. As you see here, if distance and angle made are known, the trigonometry is going to help you to find height of the building without climbing the building. So with this kind of idea only, people measure height of Everest, height of very uh, tall objects without climbing them. Let's now learn about name of the sides in a right triangle. Let us consider a right triangle, triangle ABC as shown here. It is right angled at B. It means angle B equal to 90 degrees, right? The side opposite to the right angle is called hypotenuse. It means AC is the hypotenuse of this triangle, right? We know that sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. It means angle A plus angle B plus angle C equal to 180 degrees, right? And we said that angle B is 90 degrees. It means angle A plus angle C equal to 90 degrees, right? This can be said that as angle A is going to be less than 90 degrees and angle C is going to be less than 90 degrees, right? Because their sum is 90 degrees. These two quantities have to be certainly less than 90 degrees, right? That's why, since the angles are less than 90 degrees, we call these two angles, angle A and angle C, as acute angles. Please take a note of this. Let's now consider an acute angle, that is angle A, as shown in the figure. As you see in the figure, the side BC is opposite to the angle A, right? Let me write that. BC is opposite side to the given acute angle, angle A. Whereas AB is the adjacent side to the given acute angle, that is angle A. Please take a note of this. Let's learn about trigonometric ratios now. Observe the angle and lengths of sides of the triangle. What you must have observed is as the angle increases, lengths of hypotenuse and opposite side are increasing, right? It means that lengths of hypotenuse and opposite side are functions of acute angle considered, right? Let's consider another triangle of same angle that is shown in yellow color now. If you observe, lengths of hypotenuse and opposite side of yellow color triangle are different from the blue color one, right? Though the angle is same. It means that lengths of hypotenuse and opposite side are functions of the triangle considered also, right? That's why what we do is, instead of considering lengths of opposite side and hypotenuse independently, we take ratios of them. Let's obtain ratio of lengths of opposite side and hypotenuse. If you plot that data, you get a figure like this. As the angle changes from 0 degrees to 90 degrees, the ratio increases from 0 to 1, right? And another interesting point about this particular ratio is it is only function of angle and independent of the right triangle you consider. It means the ratio is function of angle only and unique for all right triangles. Please take a note of that. The length of opposite side divided by length of hypotenuse is function of angle. We can write that way, right? That function is called sine function. Please take a note of this. It means sine of angle equal to length of opposite side by length of hypotenuse. Please take a note of this. And if you obtain the sine function value for angles ranging from 0 to 360 degrees, you get a figure like this. Let's observe the angle and lengths of the sides of the triangle here also. You must have observed that as the angle decreases, lengths of hypotenuse and adjacent side are increasing in this case. We kept the opposite side as constant across all the triangles, right? In other words, we can say that as the angle increases, lengths of hypotenuse and adjacent side are decreasing. We can say that way also, right? So let's obtain ratio of lengths of adjacent side and hypotenuse. That looks like this, as shown in the figure. As the angle increases from 0 to 90 degrees, the ratio is decreasing from 1 to 0. Please take a note of this. The ratio is function of angle only here and unique for all right triangles, and this particular ratio is called cosine function. It is a function of angle, right? Cosine of angle now can be written as length of adjacent side divided by length of hypotenuse, right? Please take a note of this. For 0 to 360 degrees, if you plot the cosine function, it looks like the one shown in the figure. Now, let us say that the ratios relating the sides and angles of right triangles are called trigonometric ratios. Please take a note of this. Let us consider a right triangle, triangle ABC, and acute angle, angle A. For the right triangle, AC is the hypotenuse, and for acute angle A, BC is the opposite side and AB is the adjacent side, right? And we said that opposite side by hypotenuse, or length of opposite side by length of hypotenuse, is sine of angle A, right? That can be written also as sine of angle A, that is read as sine A. And we have seen the ratio of adjacent side and hypotenuse, that is AB by AC, for this particular triangle can be called as cosine of angle A or cos of angle A. Simply, it can be written as cos A. These two functions we have seen. The other functions we have not seen are also there. For example, if you get the value of length of opposite side and adjacent side of triangle for as a function of angle of the triangle, acute angle of the right triangle, then you get a ratio, that is length of opposite side by length of adjacent side, that is called tangent of angle A. That can be also written as tan of angle A, and simply it can be called tan A. Please take a note of this. And there are three more ratios one can write. Those are inverse of these functions. For example, if instead of taking opposite side by hypotenuse, you take hypotenuse by opposite side, that is AC by BC, that function is called cosecant function, and AC by BC is defined as cosecant of A. That can be written as cosec of angle A or cosec A. Let's say that you take ratio of hypotenuse and adjacent side. That is called secant of A or secant of angle A or sec A. Please take a note of that. The ratio of adjacent side by the ratio of adjacent side and opposite side, that is AB by BC, that is called cotangent of angle A or cot of angle A or cot A. Simply we call it cot A. Now we can say that for an acute angle theta of a right triangle, sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta and cot theta are the trigonometric ratios. Please take a note of this. Let's summarize what we have learned just now. For an acute angle theta of a right triangle, the trigonometric ratios are defined as following. Sin theta equal to length of opposite side divided by length of hypotenuse. Cos theta is length of adjacent side by length of hypotenuse. Tan theta, which is a ratio of sin theta and cos theta, that can be written as length of opposite side divided by length of adjacent side. Now, cosec theta can be written as 1 by sine theta, that is length of hypotenuse divided by length of opposite side, right? Sec theta is 1 by cos theta, that is defined as length of hypotenuse divided by length of adjacent side. And cot theta is 1 by tan theta, that is length of adjacent side by length of opposite side. Please take a note of these functions. Let's take a look at a problem based on this concept. If tan A is given, that is 3 by 4, then find other trigonometric ratios of angle A. We know that tan A can be written as length of opposite side by length of adjacent side, right? It means length of opposite side is equal to 3 units and length of adjacent side is 4 units, right? If you draw a right triangle, the figure looks like this. Here, angle A is the acute angle we have considered. Its opposite side is BC, that's length is 3 units, and its adjacent side is AB, that is 4 units, right? Now, let's recall sin A function, that is length of opposite side by length of hypotenuse, right? To obtain value of sin A, we should know what is the value of hypotenuse, that is AC, right? For this, we can make use of Pythagoras theorem. It says that AC square equal to AB square plus BC square, right? We have values for AB and BC. Let's substitute them and simplify such that you get AC square equal to 5 square. It means AC equal to 5, right? Now let's write what is sin A, that is BC by AC equal to 3 by 5. Now, what is cos A? That is defined as length of adjacent side by length of hypotenuse, right? It is AB by AC, that can be now written as 4 by 5. And cosec A, we know that is 1 by sin A. So it is going to be 1 by 3 by 5 equal to 5 by 3. Sec A is 1 by cos A, that is going to be 5 by 4. And cot A is 1 by tan A. Tan A is given, that is 3 by 4. It means cot A is going to be 4 by 3, right? Let's take a look at another problem. If cos A is 12 by 13, then calculate sin A and tan A. We know cos A is defined as length of adjacent side by length of hypotenuse, right? So let's draw a right triangle that looks like this. Here A is the acute angle of our interest. Hypotenuse AC equal to 13 units. Adjacent side AB equal to 12 units, right? We know from Pythagoras theorem we can get the third side of, or the unknown side of the right triangle. When you do that, when you substitute values of AB and AC into the equation, you get BC square equal to 5 square. It means BC equal to 5, right? Let's recall sin A, that is defined as length of opposite side by length of hypotenuse. It means sin A equal to BC by AC, that is 5 by 13. And we have to get tan A. Tan A can be written as sin A by cos A also. Or otherwise you can write tan A equal to length of opposite side by length of adjacent side. That is going to be BC by AB, that is 5 by 12, right? So this is what we are asked to find. Please take a note of that. Let's learn about trigonometric ratios of some specific angles now. To begin with, let's learn about trigonometric ratios for 45 degrees angle. We already have seen that trigonometric ratios defined as sin A equal to opposite side by hypotenuse and cos A equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse and tan A equal to sin A by cos A, that is opposite side by adjacent side, right? And cosec A is 1 by sin A, sec A is 1 by cos A, and cot A equal to 1 by tan A, right? Now let's consider an isosceles and right angle triangle, that is triangle ABC. A triangle having two sides of equal length is called an isosceles triangle, right? When you observe this particular triangle, you see that angle B is right angle, right? And if you take measure of AB and AC, both are equal to size A units, right? It means This particular triangle is an isosceles and right angle triangle, right? The side opposite to 90 degrees angle is called hypotenuse, that is AC. And if you consider angle A, the side opposite to that is BC, that is called opposite side. And AB is adjacent side to angle A, right? Let's take a note of that. We know that BC equal to A units and AB equal to A units. What is the value of AC? We can make use of Pythagoras theorem. It says that AC square equal to AB square plus BC square, right? When you substitute small a for AB and BC, AC square is equal to 2A square, right? So AC is going to be root 2 times A. Please take a note of that. And we know that sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. It means angle A plus angle B plus angle C equal to 180 degrees. Since angle B is already 90 degrees, angle A plus angle C is going to be 90 degrees, right? And we have already seen that AB equal to BC equal to small a, right? So we can simply say that angle A is going to be equal to angle C. Since these two sides are equal, the angles opposite to those two sides are going to be equal. That is the idea. So as per that, you get angle A equal to 45 degrees, right? Now let's write trigonometric ratios for 45 degrees. That is sine 45 degrees equal to BC by AC. That is equal to A by root 2 times A. That is equal to 1 by root 2, right? And cos 45 degrees is also equal to 1 by root 2. Tan 45 degrees is sine 45 by cos 45. That is equal to 1. And cosec 45 is 1 by sine 45. That is equal to root 2. And sec 45 is 1 by cos 45, that is equal to root 2. Cot 45 is 1 by tan 45, that is equal to 1. Please take a note of these values. Now let's learn about trigonometric ratios for 60 degrees angle. This time let us consider an equilateral triangle, that is triangle ABC. A triangle of all equal sides is called equilateral triangle, right? I say that AB B equal to BC equal to AC equal to A units. And we know that sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Since all three sides are equal, the corresponding angles are also going to be equal for equilateral triangle, right? It means angle A equal to angle B equal to angle C equal to 60 degrees. Please take a note of that. Now let's draw a line that is CD perpendicular to AB such that it divides the given equilateral triangle into two right triangles. Those are triangle ADC and triangle ADB, right? Sorry, the second triangle is triangle BDC. Now let's consider right triangle ADC, that is right angled at D, right? Angle A is 60 degrees, we know that, and angle D is also known, that is right angle, so it is 90 degrees. Now if you consider triangle BDC, for that angle B we know that is 60 degrees and angle D is 90 degrees, right? Now we know that WA criterion of similarity of triangles states that when two of the corresponding angles of the triangles are equal, their corresponding sides are proportional and the triangles are similar, right? It means triangle ADC is similar to triangle BDC. And we said that corresponding sides of similar triangles are proportional, right? It means AD by BD equal to AC by BC equal to CD by CD. That is equal to 1, right? Now let's make use of AD by BD equal to 1. It means AD equal to BD, right? And value of AB is known, that is small a units. So AD equal to BD equal to A by 2, right? Now let's consider the right triangle ADC and apply Pythagoras theorem. As per Pythagoras theorem, AC square is going to be equal to CD square plus AD square, right? When you substitute small a value for AC and A by 2 value for AD, then unsimplify it such that you get CD as root 3 times A by 2, right? Please take a note of that. Now let's consider the acute angle, angle A equal to 60 degrees, so that we can write trigonometric ratios for 60 degrees angle. Sin 60 degrees is going to be equal to CD by AC, that is equal to root 3A by 2 divided by A, that is equal to root 3 by 2, right? And cos 60 is going to be AD by AC, that is A by 2 divided by A, that is equal to half. And tan 60 is equal to root 3. Now, cosec 60 is 1 by sin 60, that is equal to 2 by root 3. And sec 60 is 1 by cos 60, that is equal to 2. And cot 60 is 1 by tan 60, that is equal to 1 by root 3. Please take a note of these values. Now let's learn about trigonometric ratios for 30 degrees angle. Let us consider the equilateral triangle from previous case, that is triangle ABC. And we said that AB equal to BC equal to AC equal to A, right? And angle A is 60 degrees. Now let's only consider triangle ADC. In this triangle, we know that angle A equal to 60 degrees and angle D equal to 90 degrees, right? It means angle C is going to be 30 degrees, right? We have already shown that AD equal to small a by 2 and CD equal to root 3A by 2, right? Let us consider now acute angle C equal to 30 degrees such that we can write trigonometric ratios for 30 degrees angle. Sin 30 is going to be opposite side by hypotenuse, that is equal to AD by AC, right? That is A by 2 divided by A, that is equal to half. Cos 30 is going to be CD by AC, that is equal to root 3 by 2. Tan 30 equal to AD by CD, that is equal to 1 by root 3. Please take a note of that. Cosec 30 is 1 by sin 30, that is equal to 2. And sec 30 is 1 by cos 30, that is equal to 2 by root 3. And cot 30 equal to 1 by tan 30, that is equal to root 3. Please take a note of these values. Let's learn about trigonometric ratios for 0 degrees now. Consider a right triangle, triangle ABC. For this triangle, AC is hypotenuse. And if you consider angle A as the acute angle, then BC is the opposite side and AB is adjacent side to angle A, right? If we shrink angle A, what happens? Let's see. You must have observed that as angle A is tending to 0, BC is tending to 0 and AC is tending to AB, right? It means at angle, if angle A equal to 0, then BC is going to be 0 and AC is going to be equal to AB, right? With that, we can define trigonometric ratios for 0 degrees now. Sin 0 degrees is BC by AC equal to 0 by AC. 0 by anything is 0. That's why sin 0 degrees is 0. And cos 0 degrees is AB by AC. We already said that AC equal to AB. That's why it becomes AB by AB. That is equal to 1. And tan 0 degrees is sin 0 degrees by cos 0 degrees. That is equal to 0 by 1 equal to 0. And cosec 0 degrees is 1 by sin 0 degrees, that is 1 by 0. Anything by 0 is not defined, that's why cosec 0 degrees is not defined. Sec 0 degrees is 1 by cos 0 degrees, that is equal to 1. And cot 0 degrees is 1 by tan 0 degrees, that is equal to 1 by 0, hence it is not defined. Please take a note of these values. Now let's learn about trigonometric ratios for 90 degrees angle. Let us consider a right triangle, triangle ABC, and define the trigonometric ratios for angle A. Please take a note of this. For this particular triangle, AC is hypotenuse. For angle A, BC is opposite side and AB is adjacent side. We know that angle A and angle C are acute angles, and angle A is plus angle C equal to 90 degrees, right? It means that if angle A increases, angle C is going to decrease such that their sum is going to be equal to 90 degrees, right? Now, let's think the angle C such that angle A grows. When you do that, what happens? Let's try to understand. As angle C is decreasing, tending towards 0, angle A is increasing towards 90 degrees, and AB is tending to 0, whereas AC is tending to BC, right? It means if angle A equal to 90 degrees, then AB is 0 and AC is equal to BC, right? With that in mind, let's now define trigonometric ratios for 90 degrees angle. Sin 90 degrees is BC by AC. Since we said that AC equal to BC, it becomes BC by BC, that is equal to 1. Cos 90 degrees is AB by AC, that is equal to 0 by AC, that is equal to 0. And tan 90 degrees is sin 90 degrees by cos 90 degrees, that is not defined. Please take a note of this. And cosec 90 degrees is 1 by sin 90 degrees, that is equal to 1. And sec 90 degrees is 1 by cos 90 degrees, that is equal to 1 by 0, hence it is not defined. And cot 90 degrees is 0 by BC, that is equal to 0, right? Please take a note of these values. When you put all these values, whatever we have learned now, trigonometric ratios for 0 degrees angle, 30 degrees angle, 45 degrees, 60 degrees and 90 degrees, you get a table like this. You require this table to solve many of the problems in trigonometry. Please take a note of this table. Let's now learn about a trick to remember trigonometric ratios. We have seen this table earlier, right? Let's try a simple trick to generate this table. You don't need to remember anything. Just learn 2-3 things what we do here so that you can write this table without much of pain. Let's write the empty table like that. 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta and cot theta, right? Now, let me draw another small table at the bottom that has got 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees and 90 degrees, right? In that table, what I'm doing is from 0 degrees to 90 degrees in the first row, I'm writing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the next row, I'm going to write 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0, right? Now let me apply square root to all the numbers in the first row. Similarly, let me apply square root to all the numbers in the second row also. Now, let me divide every number in the first row with number 2. And the same is repeated for the next row also. Now, let's go to 0 degrees angle in the bottom table. That is square root of 0 by 2, right? That is equal to 0. Let's write this for sin 0 degrees. Now let's go to 30 degrees here. That is square root of 1 divided by 2. That can be written as 1 by 2. That goes as sin 30 degrees. Sin 30 degrees equal to 1 by 2, right? And now let's take a look at 45 degrees. That is root 2 divided by 2. That can be written as 1 by root 2, right? That is equal to sin 45 degrees. Let me write that. Sin 45 degrees is 1 by root 2, right? Now let's take a look at 60 degrees. That is root 3 by 2. It cannot be further simplified. Let me simply transfer that to sin 60 degrees. Now I have 90 degrees. For that we wrote 4 square root of 4 divided by 2, right? That is 2 by 2 equal to 1, right? Let me transfer that to sin 90 degrees. So you have now table for sin theta, theta starting from 0 degrees to 90 degrees, right? Let's now go to the next row in the table below, bottom table. For 0 degrees, we have written as 2 by 2, that is equal to 1. So cos 0 degrees is 1. And for 30 degrees, it is root 3 by 2. That cannot be transformed, so it is transferred as is. For 45 degrees, As you see, it is root 2 by 2, right? That is 1 by root 2 now. Let me write it as cos 45 degrees. Now for 60 degrees, we have square root of 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2. That can be written for cos 60 degrees now. And the last value in the bottom table is square root of 0 by 2, right? That is 0. So cos 90 degrees is 0. Now we know that tan theta is sin theta by cos theta, right? It means tan 0 degrees is 0 by 1, that is 0. And tan 30 degrees is 1 by root 3. Tan 45 degrees is 1. And tan 60 degrees is root 3. And tan 90 degrees is 1 by 0, that is not defined, right? Let's go to cosec theta. Cosec theta can be written as 1 by sin theta, right? It means cosec 0 degrees is 1 by sin 0 degrees, that is 1 by 0. Hence it is not defined. Cosec 30 degrees is 2. Cosec 45 degrees is root 2. Cosec 60 degrees is 2 by root 3. And cosec 90 degrees is 1, right? Now let's see what happens to sec theta. Sec theta can be written as 1 by cos theta. So sec 0 degrees is 1 by 1, that is equal to 1. Sec 30 degrees is 1 by root 3 by 2, that is equal to 2 by root 3. And sec 45 degrees is root 2. Sec 60 degrees is 2. And sec 90 degrees is 1 by 0, that is not defined. Now let's go to cot theta, that is 1 by tan theta or cos theta by sin theta, right? So cos theta by sin theta, 1 by 0, that is not defined. And cot 30 degrees is 1 by tan 30 degrees, that is equal to 1 by 1 by root 3, that is equal to root 3. And cot 45 degrees is 1. And cot 60 degrees is 1 by root 3. And cot 90 degrees is 0. Right? I hope you must have enjoyed this particular trick. Let's take a look at few problems now. In triangle ABC, angle B is 90 degrees. Then we are asked to find AC and BC, right? As you see in the figure, one side is known, that is AB equal to 5 centimeters. And one of the acute angles is given, that is angle C equal to 30 degrees. We can make use of trigonometric ratios to find the unknowns in this particular case. We can write sin C as AB by AC, right? So sin 30 degrees is going to be equal to 5 by AC, where AC is unknown. We can find that with the help of trigonometric ratios table. From this table, you can say that sin 30 degrees equal to half. It means half equal to 5 by AC. So AC equal to 5 times 2, that is equal to 10 centimeters. Now let's write cos C, that is BC by AC, right? And cos 30 degrees can be written as BC by 10. And from this table, we know that cos 30 degrees equal to root 3 by 2, right? It means root 3 by 2 equal to BC by 10, right? Let's rearrange that equation and write BC as root 3 by 2 times 10, that is equal to 5 root 3 centimeter. Please take a note of this. We have found values of AC and BC with the help of trigonometric ratios table. Let's go to the next problem. In this problem, as you see, in triangle PQR, angle Q is 90 degrees, and we are asked to find angle P and angle R. As you see from this figure, two sides are known in this case, right? In that case, we can make use of trigonometric ratios to find the unknowns. Sin R can be written as PQ divided by PR, right? And sin R can be written now as 3 by 6, that is equal to half. Let's look up the table of trigonometric ratios. Half is corresponding to 30 degrees angle, right? It means angle R equal to 30 degrees. And we know that sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. It means angle P plus angle Q plus angle R equal to 180 degrees. We know angle Q equal to 90 degrees, and we got angle R as 30 degrees, right? When you substitute those two and simplify, you get angle P as 60 degrees. Please take a note of this. Let's learn about trigonometric ratios of complementary angles now. What are complementary angles? A pair of angles are complementary if their sum is 90 degrees, right? It means in triangle ABC, angle A plus angle C equal to 90 degrees. That's why we say that angle C and angle A are complementary angles, right? It also means that in a right triangle, acute angles are going to be complementary angles. Please take a note of this. Let us now consider angle A and write trigonometric ratios for that. For in this figure, for angle A, BC is the opposite side and AB is the adjacent side, right? And we know that AC, which is opposite to the 90 degrees angle, is the hypotenuse. Now, sin A can be written as BC by AC, and cos A can be written as AB by AC, and tan A can be written as BC by AB, right? And cosec A is 1 by sin A, that is equal to AC by BC. Sec A is AC by AB, and cot A is AB by BC, right? Now let's consider angle C, that is also an acute angle, and write trigonometric ratios for that. So for that angle, AB is going to be the opposite side, right? And BC is going to be the adjacent side. Please take a note of that. Now sin C can be written as AB by AC, and cos C can be written as BC by AC, and tan C can be written as AB by BC, right? Cosec C is AC by AB, sec C is AC by BC, and cot C is BC by AB. You observe these ratios we have written for angle A and angle C. For example, sin A is BC by AC, right? That is equal to cos C. Please take a note of this. It means we can say that trigonometric ratios of complementary angles are related, right? Now let's learn about that. Let's compare trigonometric ratios written for angle A and angle C such that we can get the trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. The relations. Sin A is BC by AC, cos A is AB by AC, right? And sin C is AB by AC and cos C is BC by AC, right? Now if you compare these two, you can say that sin A equal to cos C and cos A equal to sin C, right? And we know that angle A plus angle C equal to 90 degrees, right? It means angle C can be written as 90 degrees minus angle A. It means that sin A can be written as cos of 90 degrees minus A because C is equal to 90 degrees minus A, right? Similarly, cos A can be written as sin of 90 degrees minus A. Please take a note of this. Now let us consider cosec A, that is AC by BC, sec A, that is AC by AB. Cosec C is AC by AB and sec C is AC by BC. When you compare these, you can say that cosec A is sec C and sec A is cosec C, right? It means cosec A is sec 90 degrees minus A and sec A is equal to cosec 90 degrees minus A. Please take a note of this. Let's consider cot A, that is AB by BC, tan A, that is BC by AB, cot C, that is BC by AB, and tan C, that is AB by BC, right? When you compare these, you can say that cot A equal to tan C, tan A equal to cot C, right? We can write them as cot A equal to tan of 90 degrees minus A and tan A equal to cot of 90 degrees minus A, right? Please take a note of this. So now we can say that sine and cos of complementary angles are related, sec and cosec of complementary angles are related, and tan and cot of complementary angles are related. Please take a note of these 3 points. Let's summarize what we have learned just now. A pair of angles are said to be complementary if their sum is 90 degrees. It means that acute angles of a right triangle are complementary. And trigonometric ratios of complementary angles are related. That's what we learned. Sin theta can be written as cos of 90 degrees minus theta, and cos theta can be written as sin of 90 degrees minus theta, right? Sec theta can be written as cosec of 90 degrees minus theta, and cosec theta can be written as sec of 90 degrees minus theta, right? Tan theta can be written as cot 90 degrees minus theta, and cot theta can be written as tan 90 degrees minus theta. Please take a note of this. Let's take a look at few problems based on this concept. Problem 1. Evaluate tan 36 degrees divided by cot 54 degrees. As you see from this problem, the angles given are 36 degrees and 54 degrees, right? These are not there in the table we have developed just. It means that we have to apply the idea of complementary angles, whether they match, whether they become complementary or not, we have to first test it out. So as you see here, 36 plus 54 equal to 90 degrees. It means 36 degrees and 54 degrees are complementary angles, right? Let's now apply trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. And we know that tan A can be written as cot of 90 minus A, right? If I say that A equal to 36 degrees, then 90 minus A is going to be 54 degrees, right? So tan 36 degrees equal to cot 54 degrees. Now, the given problem tan 36 by cot 54 can be written as tan 36 by tan 36, that is equal to 1, right? So to answer the problem, we say that tan 36 divided by cot 54 degrees equal to 1. Let's take a look at another problem, that is problem number 2. Cos 12 degrees minus sin 78 degrees is what? As you see here, these two numbers 12 and 78 are not part of the sum of the specific angles we looked at, right? It means you have to approach it via complementary angle only. So as you see here, 12 plus 78 is 90. It means 12 and 78 are complementary angles. Let's assume that A equal to 12, 90 minus A is 78. So we can apply trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. Sin A can be written as cos 90 degrees minus A, right? Or cos A can be written as sin 90 degrees minus A. It means cos 12 degrees can be written as sin 78 degrees. So that the problem now becomes cos 12 degrees minus sin 78 degrees now can be written as sin 78 degrees minus sin 78 degrees, that is equal to 0. So to answer the problem, we say that cos 12 degrees minus sin 78 degrees equal to 0. Please take a note of this. Let's take a look at another problem. Show that tan 48 degrees times tan 16 degrees times tan 42 times tan 74 equal to 1. As you see from here, 48 plus 42 equal to 90. It means 48 and 42 are the complementary angles. 16 and 74 are the complementary angles. So now we can apply trigonometric ratios of complementary angles, right? If A equal to 48, 90 minus A is 42. And we know that tan A equal to cot 90 minus A. It means tan 48 equal to cot 42, right? Similarly, if I say A equal to 16, 90 minus A is 74, and tan 16 can be written as cot 74, right? So the given problem, tan 48 times tan 16 times tan 42 times tan 74 now can be written as cot 42 times cot 74 times tan 42 times tan 74, right? We know that cot A can be written as 1 by tan A. It means cot 42 can be written as 1 by tan 42 and cot 74 can be written as 1 by tan 74, right? You write them and simplify such that you get answer as 1. It means that the given problem tan 48 degrees times tan 16 degrees times tan 42 degrees times tan 74 degrees is 1. Please take a note of this. This is what we are asked to show, right? Let's learn about trigonometric identities now. Consider an equation that is a plus b whole square equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? Choose any two numbers for a and b. If a equal to 5 and b equal to 7, then LHS can become 144 and RHS is 5 square plus 7 square plus 2 times 5 times 7, that is equal to 144, right? Let's assume that a equal to 8 and b equal to 2. LHS is 8 plus 2 whole square, that is equal to 100, and RHS is also equal to 100. Let's consider a square minus b square, that is equal to a plus b times a minus b, right? Let's choose any two numbers for a and b. A equal to 7 and b equal to 5 is the pair I have chosen. For that, LHS equal to 24 and RHS is also equal to 24, right? For A equal to 5 and B equal to 7, LHS becomes minus 24 and RHS becomes minus 24, right? Now what we can say is an equation is said to be an identity when it is true for all the values of the variables used. Based on whatever we have done, we can say that a plus b whole square equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab and a square minus b square equal to a plus b times a minus b as identities. And these two identities are called algebraic identity. Please take a note of that. Similarly, one can find identities for trigonometric ratios too. For example, sin theta equal to cos 90 degrees minus theta, cos theta equal to sin 90 minus theta, tan theta equal to sin theta by cos theta, cot theta equal to cos theta by sin theta, cosec theta is 1 by sin theta, sec theta equal to 1 by cos theta. All these are trigonometric identities. Along with this, we can write few more identities. Cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1, sec square theta minus tan square theta equal to 1, and cosec square theta minus cot square theta equal to 1. These three identities which are written at the end are called Pythagorean identities. Let's learn about them. Let's derive cos square A plus sin square A equal to 1. Let us consider triangle ABC as shown in the figure. AC is hypotenuse. For angle A, BC is the opposite side, and for angle A, AB is the adjacent side, right? Now, as per the Pythagoras theorem, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, right? Let us now divide the equation with AC square so that it becomes AC square by AC square equal to AB square by AC square plus BC square by AC square, right? That is equal to 1 by AB plus, AB by AC whole square, 1 equal to AB by AC whole square plus BC by AC whole square, right? And we know that sin A can be written as BC by AC and cos A can be written as AB by AC, right? When you substitute these two into the previous equation, you say that 1 equal to cos of A whole square plus sin of A whole square, right? This can also be written as 1 equal to cos square A plus sin square A. This particular relation holds true for all the angles between 0 and 90, including 0 and 90 degrees. Please take a note of this. Now, let us divide the Pythagoras theorem equation with AB square. When you do that, you get AC square by AB square equal to AB square by AB square plus BC square by AB square, right? That can be written as AC by AB whole square equal to 1 plus BC by AB whole square. We know that tan A can be written as BC by AB and sec A can be written as AC by AB, right? It means sec A whole square equal to 1 plus tan A whole square. That can be written as sec square A minus tan square A equal to 1. This is another trigonometric identity, right? This holds true for all the angles between 0 and 90 degrees. It includes 0 degrees but not 90 degrees. Please take a note of this. Let's now divide the Pythagoras theorem equation with BC square. When you do that, you get AC square by BC square equal to AB square by BC square plus BC square by BC square, right? You simplify that and substitute cot A equal to AB by BC and cosec A equal to AC by BC. When you do that, you can write it as cosec A whole square equal to cot A whole square plus 1. That can be rearranged and written as cosec square A minus cot square A equal to 1. This is also another trigonometric identity, right? This holds true for all the angles between 0 and 90. It includes even 90 degrees but not 0 degrees. Please take a note of this. Let's summarize what we have learned just now. An equation is called an identity when it is true for all the values of variables used. For that reason, a square minus b square equal to a plus b times a minus b becomes an identity and it is called an algebraic identity. Sin theta equal to cos 90 minus theta, cos theta equal to sin 90 minus theta, tan theta equal to sin theta by cos theta, cosec theta equal to 1 by sin theta, are sum of the trigonometric identities. And trigonometric identities based on Pythagoras theorem are cos square a plus sin square a equal to 1, sec square a minus tan square a equal to 1, cosec square a minus cot square a equal to 1. Please take a note of this. Let's solve few problems based on this concept. Show that tan power 4 theta plus tan square theta equal to sec power 4 theta minus sec square theta. If you take left hand side terms, it is going to be tan power 4 theta plus tan square theta. That can be written as tan square theta times 1 plus tan square theta, right? From this trigonometric identity, sec square theta minus tan square theta equal to 1, we can say that 1 plus tan square theta equal to sec square theta, right? Let's rewrite it as tan square theta times sec square theta. From the same trigonometric identity, now tan square theta can be written as sec square theta minus 1, right? When you do that, it becomes sec square theta minus 1 times sec square theta, right? That can be rearranged and written as sec power 4 theta minus sec square theta. This is what is called RHS. Our right hand side term is sec power 4 theta minus sec square theta, right? So now we can say that tan power 4 theta plus tan square theta equal to sec power 4 theta minus sec square theta. This is what we are asked to show. Let's go to the next problem. Evaluate sin theta plus cos theta whole square plus sin theta minus cos theta whole square. We know that a plus b whole square equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. So that sin theta plus cos theta whole square becomes sin square theta plus cos square theta plus 2 sin theta cos theta. And we know that cos square a plus sin square a equal to 1. That is one of the trigonometric identities we learned just now. So using this trigonometric identity, we can rewrite the earlier expression as 1 plus 2 sin theta cos theta, right? So sin theta plus cos theta whole square equal to 1 plus 2 sin theta cos theta. Please take a note of that. Now, sin theta minus cos theta whole square can be written as sin square theta plus cos square theta minus 2 sin theta cos theta. That can be rearranged and written as 1 minus 2 sin theta cos theta. So let's now go back to the original problem statement. As per that, sin theta plus cos theta whole square plus sin theta minus cos theta whole square equal to 1 plus 2 sin theta cos theta plus 1 minus 2 sin theta cos theta, right? It means it is equal to 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. Please take a note of this. Let's go to the next problem. Evaluate sec square theta minus 1 times cosec square theta minus 1. We know that sec square a minus tan square a equal to 1, right? It means sec square theta minus 1 becomes tan square theta. Similarly, we know cosec square a minus cot square a equal to 1. It means cosec square theta minus 1 equal to cot square theta, right? So the given problem now becomes tan square theta times cot square theta, right? We know that cot a equal to 1 by tan a. So this becomes tan square theta divided by tan square theta, that is equal to 1. So to answer the question, sec square theta minus 1 times cosec square theta minus 1 equal to 1. Please take a note of that. I hope you like the video. Please give it a like and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thank you.